Welcome to Anamika ma'am's classroom. If you want to score more than 90% marks in your board exam, then you can contact with me. In my phone number are here. You can call me or you can WhatsApp me for online computer tuition. This is not applicable for MI year student. Now let's start today's class. 7 must learn question answer from loop in Java. There are total 15 must learn question answer from loop chapter. First 8 question answer I have already discussed in my previous video. The link of that video I will provide in my description box. Now I am going to discuss rest of 7 must learn question answer from loop chapter. So have a look. First one is what is delay loop, then what is user controlled loop, what is the break statement in a loop, what is the use of continue statement in a loop, then differentiate between these two, break and continue, then differentiate between while and do while, and at last what is nested loop. So let's start. Here is what is delay loop. Delay loop means a loop which empty loop is called delay loop. Empty loop or null loop or bodiless loop I have already discussed in my last video, last question. That empty loop is called delay loop only. So what is empty loop? Empty loop means a loop without any body or a loop without any execution statement. That type of loop is called delay loop. So what is the purpose of delay loop? Delay loop is used for giving some pause in our programming. During programming, if we want to give some pause, then we go for delay loop purposely. So example of delay loop is, suppose I equal to 1, I less than equal to 10 and I plus plus. And here I am giving one semicolon. In for loop line there is no semicolon. But purposely I give one semicolon because there is nothing to execute in this loop. This loop just semicolon means end of statement. So loop will end over here. So this loop will continue till 10 times but nothing to execute. Just take some time or pause some time during execution of any program. And there is another example. I equal to 1, I less than 10, I plus plus. There is no semicolon but there inside the bracket nothing written here. That means no execution statement. Loop will continue from 1 to 10. 10 times it will be rotate but nothing to execute. Just it takes some time and it pause the execution of the program for some time. So this is the purpose of delay loop. Then the next question is, what is user controlled loop? By the name you can understand user can control this type of loop. It is in user hand the loop will continue or not. So sometimes in a program you use a loop which makes iterations based on the needs of the user. Sometimes you are asking for, do you want to, that means you have while loop or for loop and the end of the loop before you coming out from the loop, you are asking a question that, do you want to continue, yes or no? If you press yes or Y, then loop will continue, otherwise no. So it is in your hand, that means user hand, user want to continue the loop or not. So if each and every time when it's coming out from the loop, it asks for, do you want to continue or not? If user want to continue only, then loop will continue, otherwise not. So this type of it depends on user input. So this type of loop is called user controlled loop. Maybe while loop, maybe for loop, especially while loop, we can make as a user controlled loop. Now come to third question, which is what is the use of break statement in a loop? Very much important question. What is the use of break statement? Break statement means if you want some unusual termination of a block. That means we rotate the loop for 1 to 100 times. But if we get any desired number, then we want to coming out from the loop. We not need to iterate or rotate the rest of the loops. Then we use a break statement. Break statement means it don't goes for 100 times where it fulfill the condition, and that time it break from the, it coming out from the loop. So if you want to unusual termination, that means not want to go to the end of the loop. In between somewhere, if my condition is fulfilled, then you want to coming out from the loop, then you can use break statement. As soon as the if statement, that means the condition is fulfilled and it get break statement, it coming out from the loop. Then the next question is what is the use of continue statement in a loop? So like break statement, we can use continue statement as well. So continue statement means a continue statement is just the opposite of break statement. As soon as the continue statement is executed in the loop, the control skips rest of the statement for that value and resumes for the next iterations. That means in between in the loop, if you get any continue statement, from continue statement, it again rotate back or go back to the first position of the loop, and it not execute the rest of the statements in the loop. So as soon as it get continue statement, it again iterate from the first line of the loop and ignore the rest of the statements of the loop. So this is continue one type of looping only. So from continue, it again continue from the beginning. Okay, and it ignore the rest of the statement. Then differentiate between break and continue, which is very important this year. So here is a difference between break and continue. First is break statement used to terminate a block in which it exists, and continue statement is used to move the control to the next iteration of the loop, ignoring other statements. So break statements, we want to break the loop, that means coming out from the loop. But continue statement, we want to continue the loop from the next iteration, only ignoring the rest of the statements. Again, we want to continue the next iteration from there, only ignoring the rest of the statements. But break means just end the loop, not want to continue the loop. Then the next second difference is break statement can be used in switch case as well as loop, but continue statement only you can use in loop. So switch case means if else. In switch case also you can use break statement for coming out from any case, but as well as loop also, in loop also you can use break statement, but continue statement you can't use in switch case, you can only use in loop statement. This continue. So the next question is very much important, is differentiate between while loop and do while loop. So while loop means the while loops will not execute at all if the condition is not satisfied, and do while loop will continue at least once. Why? Because in case of while loop, first we write down while, then condition. So if the condition satisfy or if the condition is true, then only loop will execute, otherwise not. And in do while, first we write down only do and we start to execute the statement. At the last of the statement, we write down while and give condition. So if the condition is not true also, then also it execute at least once, because at the entry time there is no checking. So entry is free, so entry time no checking is there. So just execute once, then there is a one checking at the time of exit. So then the loop while and condition is there. Then if the condition is true, then only loop will again continue, otherwise not. So in case of do while, condition is true or false, loop will continue at least once. But in case of while loop, the condition is not true, so loop will not execute a single time. Then the second difference is the while loop checks the condition first and then execution begins. As I already discussed that point, that in while loop checks the condition first, then execution begins, and in do while checks the condition after executing the loop once. So that's why it is called entry controlled loop, because at the time of entry it only checks the condition is true or false. And it is called exit control loop, because at the time of exit it checks the condition is true or false. Then this year there is in class 10 ICSE, there is no do while loop. Do while loop discard from the syllabus in this year, class 10. Who are appearing for class 10, they not need to learn do while loop. This is for your information. Then the last question here, what is nested loop? By the name, nested means one inside another. That means a loop inside another loop is called nested loop. So here is the definition. Nested loop means loop within loop. In nested loop, inner loop repeats a number of times for each repetition of the outer loop. So main things is nested loop mean a loop within loop. So we write down a loop, then if for this condition there is another loop, and the first loop is called outer loop, and the inner, that means second loop is inside loop, is called inner loop. So that much for today's class. Please share my video with your friends and with your contacts, if you like it, and you please give one like, click on like button if you like my videos, and please subscribe my channel. If till now you have not subscribed, then please don't forget to subscribe my channel. Thank you. Goodbye.